Good afternoon and welcome back to the Veggie Patch. My name's Etienne and it's the first video in a long time. This week we're going to be looking at how we add even more microbiology to our soil. I've sort of drifted away from the brews and the ferments and everything, all those sort of compost, no, not compost tea, but sort of you see it all over the internet and YouTube within the gardening sort of realm, where people will take, for example, comfrey and mix it with water and let it rot, and then that's what you use as your fertilizer. We've moved completely away with that. Those bio-ferts that I made, and I've moved away from it for one fundamental reason. That's not how nature operates. Basically, a plant uptakes its nutrients in a symbiotic relationship with the microbiology within the soil. Photosynthesis occurs, creates the complex sugars and starches, but a lot of those sugars get moved down into the ground, and those sugars will have a very signature sort of chemical component to it, and bacteria that are when they want a specific nutrient, be it I don't know, boron or one of these microelements, or could be anything as common as iron, whatever, the plant sends out a very distinct chemical signature with those sugars, and that attracts that bacteria or the microbiology within the soil that consumes these elements or these minerals, and that draws it towards the root. And that's where you'll have that high concentration form around the root hair, and that's how osmosis occurs. Once you've got a high concentration, it moves across that semi-permeable membrane into the root, and then the plant can take it up. Our belief as sort of conventional agriculture belief is that we should supply those nutrients to the point in high dosage so the plant can take it up, and that's the problem. Osmosis is not something that the plant can switch off. So when there's a high concentration, it takes it up. It doesn't have an option on that, it hasn't got the ability to regulate it. So if you change your mindset a little bit and provide the soil with a lot of this microbiology in great diversity, the plant has got the ability to control what nutrients it takes up, and all our purpose then is to feed the soil and not feed the plant. That's a bit of a shift in how we go about these things, and what we've specifically done here in our garden, in our veggie patch. And that's why all the nutrients that comes into the garden goes through the composting. And if you've been following this last couple of series of videos on composting, there was the series of 3. I highlight that little fact. So all our nutrients come through the composting that goes into the garden. The only time that I might feed the plant, and I don't do it through the roots, is a foliar spray. When I see plants are looking a little down and might need a boost, while I amend the soil so that microbes can give those plants, I might give them a foliar spray, and that might happen once a month or so. Apart from that, everything comes through the compost because we're feeding the soil, and that's vitally important. Yeah, so the process is quite simple. What we do is we take the worm farms, we've got little buckets with little holes underneath, and we fill those up with water and put it on top, and that slowly leaks through the worm farm, collects under on that corrugation underneath, hits the gutter and comes into the bucket. And then we'll collect it there. And sit. So all we're doing is what we want to do is put the water through the worm farm. So there's holes at the bottom of the bucket, right?
Yeah.
So the water goes slowly through the worm farm, drains through, hits the gutter, falls in and goes into the bucket, and that's what we want to collect. But what's also happening is the water picks up a lot of the microbes, remember?
Yeah.
The microbiology, and it's going to go in there, and that's what we're going to make our sort of microbiology fertilizer with, is that stuff. Then we've taken that big blue drum, and I've bought an air compressor with some filtration stones that you'll use like an aquarium, a bubbler, and we've put those at the bottom, and we'll put in some water with some molasses. We'll get some molasses and mix it up. I don't know the ratios, I'm just winging it, but anyway, and then we'll throw the worm juice, so to speak, into there.
How do you do
Okay, so we filled this halfway with water.
Yeah.
Now we're going to add the molasses. Hopefully it's come to the bottom.
It's half closed. Done. Yes!
There we go, there's some molasses. This and see if it works. So, make it bubbly now.
Yeah, Yella, don't mix it up.
Okay, I'll cool the bubbles.
You
Why do we put the bubbles?
I'm to get all the gunkite.
Near, because the microbes need oxygen there.
Yeah.
So we need to put oxygen in the water. And that is aerobic. Say aerobic.
Aerobic.
Aerobic means that an animal needs oxygen. Anaerobic means it doesn't need oxygen. But anaerobic is usually what makes things stink and horrible. The other thing we're going to do is also, or what we did, was pick up some compost and put it in a bag and put one of the bubblers inside the bag. And then we tie it up and we put everything inside and then you let it bubble. Ja, sê, ons gaan net water met kry. So ja, met volle water. Goed so nog iets. Gooi. Gooi dit op.
One whole box.
Ja.
What is it?
Eva, Etienne, kom. Ek het jou help nodig.
Some water.
Ek wil hê jy moet hier optel en dit so hou. Hou dit hier, hou daar. Hou dit so dat ek die water te kan gooi. See, look at all the bubbles. That's a good thing.
What?
Because it means it's got oxygen. That's what we want. We want lots of oxygen. So after 24 hours or so, what's going to happen is the bacteria that you've got in the worm juice, the worm tea, as well as what you'll find inside our compost, which is already quite diverse. If you've watched our composting videos, we collect dung wherever we can in diversity, trying to get as much of this microbiology as we can into our composting sort of routine. And all this diversity will feed off the molasses, both the sugars and the nutrients there's a lot of minerals and stuff inside the molasses, and then they'll multiply very quickly. And the key is within 24 hours or 48 hours, once you've brewed it up, that you can utilize it in the garden. And what I'm going to do is I'll actually make a foliar spray with that, to put it on the plants. I haven't done one in a while, but you can see the garden's quite green. It's looking really, really good considering we've gone into winter now. But then also feed the soil, and that's just giving the soil all the life that they need, and then they'll sort the plants out. That's what we did today, and the kids were really helpful. Anyway, I think we're short a garden update soon. The one's coming, and sort of let you into some secrets. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, and share it with your family and friends. Cheers. Till next time. Bye.